All right, everybody, we're about 2 minutes late, and I'm going to take the blame because I sent everybody the wrong link like I do all the time. But welcome to the initial season of the Tanner Nelson, the Sylvania Rams football show. Coach Nelson here with us, of course, with Howie Cheney. Um, Coach, just kind of a rough start. Sounds like the defense played their heart out, though.
Yeah, I thought the especially second half defensively, played very well. Uh, Created several turnovers. Ran around to the football. Everybody was flying to the ball. Gave us offensively enough chances. We just didn't execute. It was one of them nights where everything, defensively we went very well. On third downs, defense was 12 for 12. They North Jackson, they got several fourth down conversions, especially in the first half. Second half, we pretty much eliminated that. Played very well. So from defensively, we was very pleased with our how we played second half. We kind of we tested them a little bit at halftime defensively, trying to get off the field, and they really came out and responded well, and we made plays, so that was a plus for us. And I like to say offensively, I wish we every time we got going, we shot ourselves in the foot. That was very frustrating. We had a couple penalties and a couple different things that kind of played a role in that, and we were going to get all that stuff cleaned up and be ready. We have an off week this week, but we'll get all that cleaned up and be ready to go here next week as we host Holly Pond in our first region game.
Howie, I'll come to you after this question. So you ready? Coach, it's bittersweet. I know it's not the result you wanted, but at some point, did you have a second to reflect on your journey in coaching or think about your coaching, or is it just the loss took the sting of being your first game as a head coach away?
Well, I think it's just that loss. We're trying the work we've put in to get to this point, and you lose that. It kind of stings a little bit because
Yeah.
we just didn't execute, and that really stings because I thought we doing kind of the right stuff, and we had the guys in the right position, and uh, we just didn't execute, and that starts with me. And that's what I told the guys. I said, "This is my fault," and we're going to be better. And that started yesterday at practice, and we had a good day, good 2 days so far, and we expect to be ready to go next Friday as we host Holly Pond. But we still got stuff to clean up, and that's kind of it's hard to that jamboree. We really didn't play enough, which that may have hurt us. Just playing a quarter. Yeah, there's stuff I wish we could have done differently just from that. That may have played a role in our slow start offensively. So there's several different things, but we just didn't execute. So that goes back to me, and we're going to be better next week when we play Holly Pond.
Go ahead, Mr. Cheney.
Coach Nelson, going into this bye week, are you going to use it more as a scout yourself and make adjustments, or are you going to go back to like fundamentals? Let's start over from scratch.
Well, it's a little bit of both. We got to get better at what we do, and we got to kind of still that's what I told the guys. I said, who are we going to be as a team? And we really ain't figured that out yet. But we still gotta find who we are, and we gotta get better at them things. It goes back to small details, and we really preach small details, and we didn't execute, and we gotta. And we tested them guys yesterday and today, and we had two good practices, and we got after it, and it was hot, and they could have decided to go do whatever, and they came ready to go, ready to get better. and that really shows kind of they're dedicated and they want to get better. And that loss, it stings them because they've really put a lot of work in to get at this point. But there's plenty of stuff to take away and clean up and to get better before we got a tough stretch. Really start next week. It's a stretch. Where we can't play like that again. And expect to win the game. And so we got to get better and get all that stuff fixed and be ready to go.
Don't want to take nothing away from North Jackson. They're a much better team this year than they were last year.
Yeah, I think they played very well. They were very physical up front, and Coach Hollis, he had them guys ready to go, and they played very well. And it was just one of them things where we played a good football team and we didn't execute like we wanted to, and we lost the game. So they. Hats off to them. I thought they played very well.
Yeah, for me on the offensive side, real quick, it seemed like if you could ever get a little crease, then that helped out with Parham being able to get a lot of yards. That's how he got the 75-yard run. But the problem was getting past the line of scrimmage was a difficulty. It seemed like North Jackson kind of controlled the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they did. And we got to be better up front. And we're two really good days working to get better. Aiden ran very hard, and he made several plays happen when there really wasn't nothing there. So that's just kind of player he is. So it goes back to small details and doing stuff right, and we continue to clean some stuff up, and I think we've done that so far this week. We just didn't play very well, and that goes back to me, and that that we had a couple of days to reflect on it and kind of see what we need to clean up, and I think we're working in the right direction so far this week.
And to go on the defensive side, it's right reverse. It seemed like your defensive line took control of North Jackson's offensive line and contained the line of scrimmage there and allowed your linebackers to run free to the ball when it was a run play.
Right. They played, overall, they all graded out really well. Of course, a couple small things here and there that we grade pretty hard just because we're trying to do everything we can to be perfect, and we grade hard. And there's a couple things that that if we didn't grade so hard, they would have graded a little bit higher. But overall, I thought defense really played well, especially them, the front 6 or 7, played pretty well. But that you see this some years where your offense starts slow and defense has to carry you for a couple of games, and that gives us confidence offensively to be able to, that we know that we have a pretty strong defense that maybe can carry us if we start a little bit slow. So but overall we're going to continue to work, continue to get better. We have a couple injuries that we have to have a couple days to kind of get all them guys kind of ready to go before we play next Friday. So hopefully this bye week came at a good time, and get a couple guys some rest, and really just get back in the swing of things with Holly Pond next Friday.
Yeah, I'll ask this question, Randy, and come back to you. And it kind of leads me into what my next question was going to be, Coach, as far as playing a game then having a bye week already. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I'm going to take it as a positive, to have a bye week, because that gives us a week to get everything cleaned up and fixed. And, I could always say, it's we probably needed to play just to go ahead and, maybe get some of this stuff cleaned up. But, there's pros and cons, both ways you look at it. But we're going to, give us another week to practice and get some of this stuff fixed before we play another game, So we're taking it as positive and really, really getting these guys ready to go. Still building some depth. We still got some depth in a couple spots. We still have a couple battles still kind of going on. We're still trying to figure out who maybe that guy is, or maybe this guy started last week, but this guy's gonna start this week or something like that. So we still got some stuff to figure out before we get into region play and in a very tough region. So we got to be ready to go and ready when something does happen, an injury or something happens, or that we're ready to get somebody on the field and they know what to do and be very productive when they get out there.
Okay, Randy.
Coach, one of the hardest things we do is do this show after a loss, and all the respect in the world for being here with us. Do you like playing week 0? Because I know we played. I cover Hickson up here in Tennessee. And we played last week, and it didn't go well for us. And I felt like week 0 was like a week of training camp missing it. It almost felt still like it was a jamboree until the third or fourth quarter. Is that just the guy who wants that the way to be, that we played bad last week, that I'm saying didn't feel like a real game, or did you feel it just was normal game week?
Well, I mean, there's definitely pros and cons of playing early and late. And, I wish we could do some more maybe padded stuff a little bit earlier in the summer to get ready. But we can't, because that's just what the rules say. So we can't do that. But and especially kind of new team, you still got to find kind of who you are, because last year's team. That's you can't. It's just everything's different. And that we can't. Well, you can't compare yourself to last year, or you can't. All this kind of stuff is kind of outside noise. So every year you have a new identity, and we just ain't really found that yet. I think we're doing stuff right. We got the guys kind of in the right position, but we just got to continue to get better. And when we get a chance in the game, we have to execute that. And we just so going back, I don't know if week 0 is better, or starting week 1, or you start practicing a week earlier, and into July. It's hot. Some of that stuff is hard to get a lot of stuff out of that, just how hot it is. But how playing week 0, you have to practice early. You have to practice. There's definitely pros and cons of starting early, and so but we don't have any excuses. That's not an excuse why we played bad the other night. That has nothing to do with it. So we're going to continue to get better, and that's that starts with me, and that starts me getting these guys in the right position, and getting the coaching staff to get these guys to better understand what we're trying to do, and be better prepared. And we look forward to. That's another reason why I kind of wish you would have played this week, just to get all this stuff to really see if we can. But we play next week, so we'll that'll give us a couple more days to get all this stuff cleaned up and be ready to go then.
Coach, I'll give you props for this, and answering the worst worded question in the history of podcast correctly, because I never did get that question out completely, but you actually answered it perfectly. So one question about last week, and let's put it behind us, and I'm going to go to the huddle I was in at the end of the Hickson East Hamilton game, and I'm sure this is the same message you have preached this week. Every goal this team has is still out there for them to seize.
Yeah, it is. That's I kind of what I said after the game. I know this thing's just because of the work we've put in. These guys really worked hard, but everything's still there. That's get into region play next week. and it is week to week. We have to win each week going forward, and this played a very good team again in North Jackson. Hopefully, playing teams like that, that's why you schedule some of these games, tough games, tough opponents to be battle tested when you get later in the year in playoffs. But we can't sit here week one and be thinking about playoffs, because we have to continue to get better day by day, snap by snap, and all that. And that all this work, kind of we have this week and next week going into Holly Pond. We're doing stuff to get us better and get ready for them, and you can't sit here and say you're already thinking about this game, or whatever. We have to be ready for next Friday and to get that first win of the year. That's very important for us to get some momentum going, and continue to get some depth and get these guys ready. For a tough region, because every week going from here on out, it's going to be just like last week, it's going to be a tough game. Several of these games may go right down the wire like it did last week, and we just have to execute when we have that chance. We have to get the guys in the right position and give them the best chance to be productive when their number's called, whatever that looks like. So I think we will. And I think these guys have really rise to the occasion on trying to do all the stuff that we need them to do to be better. And we've been here early every morning, and a lot of continue working out in the mornings and film, and 2 long days, and we just now walked off the field about 5:20. 2 long, hard days of getting ready for region football next week.
Howie, I'll come to you after this. Coach, that behind you moving on to Holly Pond, it is a challenge. That Holly Pond's a good football team, was a good football team last year. Always their calling card, if you go year to year and look at Holly Pond, very athletic team. So it is something that you've got to get ready for in 2 weeks. And it is a great challenge to open up the region schedule with Holly Pond.
Yeah, they do a lot of great things. Offensively, they got a couple playmakers. Quarterback, he's a really good player. He fits the offense they're trying to run very well. He's tough to tackle. We have to fly around and get numbers to the ball, and really do all that, because if not, he can make a couple plays happen if not. So we have to continue to work, continue to get better. And Holly Pond, they're going to be ready to go coming here next week as they open region play, and they're trying to be 1-0 in region play just like us. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very good game. Defensively, they do a lot of great things. Kind of new coaching staff, they kind of got in a little bit late, but I think they're doing a great job, kind of what they need to be doing with this team. I think it fits what they fit the players very well, offense and defensively. But we still got a lot of work to do to get ready for them, and maybe get some more tape on them kind of after they play Friday. Because you just ain't got a lot of tape on them right now, but you can watch a couple of highlights here and there, kind of see what they're doing. But we will continue to watch, and come Sunday, all our focus will go to them. Right now it's still half on them, half on us, and really our focus come Sunday will go all on them to try to get that first win of the season and get back on the going in the right direction. Because the week after that you got Geraldine coming off a semifinal year, so it's going to be kind of a rival game. It'll be a lot of people here ready to go. And it goes back into playoff implications, and so we got to be ready to go. Holly Pond, then we have to flip switch after that to get ready to go for Geraldine. So get a really good week of rest to get these guys ready to go. But at the same time, we can't rest too much because we still have a lot of stuff to clean up. So trying to find that balance, kind of a tough thing because I'd like to say just get out here and we practice until whatever time, but we still got to find the balance because we have a couple people still kind of beat up after a physical football game. So we got to continue to work and be ready to go.
Well, Coach Nelson, you mentioned something a while ago as far as crowd wise. How did you enjoy the crowd coming into your first game at home this past Friday night?
I thought, great crowd. We had a lot of people there and really on both sides. Really helped our guys. Caused a couple, offensive turnovers for them. I think some of that goes back to the crowd, how involved they were during the game. We had a great student section. All that kind of stuff goes into, give you the home field advantage. And I thought overall we had an advantage with our crowd. Man, we just didn't. Going back to offensively, we just didn't execute when we had that chance, and had a couple bad penalties, really, to eliminate them. A couple scoring drives, but really, really great crowd, great. It was everything. All that really lived up to the hype, and hopefully next Friday we can give them something to be proud of as they leave. Hopefully we can get that first win of the year.
Penalty wise, yeah, you had quite a few penalties. Did you feel like most of those or some of those was mental mistakes, or were some of it just a little bit of, I hate to say it, but you think someone was just a little bit on the lazy side as far as people kind of reaching instead of getting where they need to be?
Yeah, a little bit of both. A little bit of both. It wasn't uh it's about being, you can think about it, look back on all of them, and it was, was we a little bit tired, maybe, some all that, goes back into it, and we just have to be better. We can't, we can't continue to do that and expect to win games. And, I, a little bit of everything. It's very frustrating though. The penalties, because we eliminate some of them. Maybe it's a different outcome. That's the hard part about it. And defensively, we had a couple of pass interferences on fourth down. Gave them the ball back, and they went down and scored on both of them. So it's frustrating, and we have to be better. We have to be better, and it goes back to small details. It goes back to doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we can't. After the play, we can't. We have to. People's gonna say stuff. You can't react to it, and you do, and you get a penalty, and we just can't do stuff after the play's over, and we have to play between the whistle, and just let our play talk in between the whistle and everything else. After that, we ain't gonna. We have to be better, and because we can't continue to shoot ourselves in the foot when we are driving and doing stuff right, and then we have a couple penalties, and now you're out of really of chance once you get to second and 38, whatever we were. You're almost just eliminate yourself from scoring a touchdown. So but we're going to get better and get that stuff fixed.
There's a play I want to bring up, but I don't want it to sound like that I'm criticizing the officials. But the first touchdown that they scored 2 plays earlier, there was a fumble, but they gave the ball back to North Jackson. On the film, could you tell if it was a fumble or was the right call made on the field?
We thought we thought it was a fumble, and they threw a beanbag out there, and then they picked it up. The explanation I got was he didn't fumble. So, that was all what we had. So, some of that still don't really understand that, but it is what it is, and we can't sit here and start blaming people. We have to look in the mirror first, So we got to get we you can't put the game in somebody else's hand, So we have to be better internally and get all this stuff cleaned up and fixed. So, but um, it's tough, because we kind of had the momentum right there. Maybe it's a swing if it goes, kind of in our favor. But we still have to answer whenever they, you know, that's just a football game. Stuff's going to happen, a bad call here and there, or somebody thought it was a fumble, but so we don't have instant replay, so that you know, so it's that's really the only way to clean that up, to get that fixed, is have replay, and then you see it's a fumble, and then now they flip the call and we get it right there, and maybe that's a different outcome of the game. A couple plays like that, a couple of them go in our favor, or we don't shoot ourselves in the foot on whatever. We had a couple holding calls and unsportsmanlike. We had unsportsmanlike, so we cleaned some of that stuff up. It's a different game, so we just have to be better.
Seeing Randy's reaction, I got a feeling that our good friend John Seals has posted something that.
No, it's another friend. It's Jessica William Nant, and it's not what Coach said. Coach is nice, but her opinion of the referees probably shouldn't show. But
Okay.
It definitely. Thank you, Jessica. You made my day.
So, Coach, let's talk about special teams a little bit. Connor had a rough night on the field goal front, but as far as punt wise, I think he had one punt is 62 yards, and he flipped the field on that punt right there. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen a high school punt as good as that.
Mm-hmm. He punted very well. He was a little bit off. Kicking, that's part of it. If I could go back and redo them, I'd do it the same way. I'd run him out there and kick it again. So we have confidence in him, and we're going to continue. He's going to continue to get better, and the next time his number is called, he's going to be ready to go. So we have all the confidence in the world in him, and just one of them things that just didn't go as planned, and I thought after that first one, he got just a little bit down on himself, and I think he's going to be ready to go. Hopefully, come next week, because at some point it may not be next week, or it may be next week, whatever that looks like, and we're gonna have to kick another field goal. He kicks very well at practice, and like I said, I would do it again. So. I would do everything that happened the other night, them field goals, whether to kick or not kick, I'd kick them every time, because those are ones I think he can make, and he's going to continue to work. We've had 2 good days kicking, so he's going to continue to get better and be ready to go when his number's called.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had a good warm up. I was out there at warm ups before the game, and I think he hit a 52-yarder, nailed it. So it. As far as I know, there's never been a kicker to hit every field goal that he attempted. So, Connor, if you're watching, don't be down on yourself, man. Everybody misses from time to time, and just be ready when your number's called again. You just heard the coach say that it's going to be called again, and hopefully quite a few times this year. So, Randy, what you got for Coach Nelson?
Not to go back to next week. I'm going to move ahead a little bit and kind of talk about how you've accepted this week, what your practice schedule looks like, and how much hitting will you try to get in this week?
Well, we've practiced about regular past 2 days, and we've had pads on, and we popped some, and it's just been normal. Practice, because we still have to get stuff figured out. So, it's very normal. And kind of later in the week, we'll kind of see kind of where we're at. What do we need to do? What do we need to clean up? Do we need to get off a day? Do we need to,
Yes, sir.
So some of that kind of be after tomorrow. Kind of see if we've got what we needed to see cleaned up. Kind of where we go, later in the week. So all that, kind of is in kind of our hands. Kind of where we go and kind of what we do. The main thing we have to get the mistakes cleaned up, before we start doing this, all this other stuff. But I think so far this week we've had 2 very good days, and we're very pleased with it.
Coach, again, I'm going to let Howie finish this up tonight. Tough week. Thank you very much for joining us. We always appreciate it. Wins. It just seems like wins make this a normal day for us on the podcast. And when we lose, it's just still gut wrenching. But I just want to say something to you, Coach. I've never, ever believed in a school, a program, or a coach more than I do you and those young men in the locker room. So, don't worry. Good days are ahead, Coach. I believe that in my heart. So, just a word of encouragement from me. And I know it don't help right now, but at least you can look back and say, well, the old fat man on the podcast really still had his courage up. Still believe that the journey is going to be a lot of fun this year. Howie, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach Nelson, it's you got a bye week this coming week. Holly Pond coming in. We've already talked about that. We're not going to talk much about, or we're not going to talk about Holly Pond. But did they play a game this past week, or were they a jamboree, or have you seen anything from them this year?
They played Appalachian last week. A very close game. Appalachian's a pretty good football team. They've been playing good football past couple of years. I think they're a little bit older football team than they have been. Past couple of years, they.
Howie, let's let Coach.
Got choked up, but lost.
It was my speech, Coach. I know I do it to people. I'm so eloquent. I just tear everybody up. It might have been John Seals coming in here with his "Go Rams." I don't know, but I'm sure Coach was worried about my opinion. But anyway, I gave it, Howie. So.
Yeah, absolutely, and it means a lot to him and the boys as well.
But,
Coach, you okay?
Yeah, I got choked up, but
you can be honest with it. Was it Randy's speech that he gave you?
Yeah, it was his speech.
I'm telling you, I tear the heart when I get to give my heart out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach. Sorry about that.
I think they're a little bit. They're playing very well. That was a good test for Holly Pond to kind of see where they're at, and they have Hansville this week. Good team past a couple of years, so it'll be another good test. So there'll be kind of battle tested going in next week where we still have a couple questions to see if we got figured out before we play them. So we a lot of questions still. I mean, that's just part of it. But we'll hopefully, like I say, get more film on them because right now it's just still a lot of highlights and what you can get out there and all that kind of stuff. But get some film on them. Hopefully come Saturday and Sunday and get all be ready for them next Friday. But we're just excited and ready to get another chance, have another opportunity to play a game and have an opportunity to win that game. So we're thank y'all for having me on tonight, and hopefully here next week or two we'll be able to celebrate a win.
Coach, John Seals says that you missed him. That's why you got choked up because you heard his name.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think Mr. Kirby threatened me because he said if Coach didn't make it through the podcast, he was going to make me coach the football team. So
Yeah.
let's not let him get choked up anymore.
Right.
Coach, it seems like you're kind of an old school, old spirit type person because you say you want more tape on teams. Y'all went out and did some some the other day. Are you so old school that you may have your coaches to divide and conquer this coming Friday night and have some to go scout at different people, or how will that work out?
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll definitely be in a couple different locations come Friday, and that's a couple region games and a couple a game or two on Thursday and a couple games on Friday. So a couple of chances for us to see a couple of these teams and kind of just see where kind of who they are. Every year is different, so you can't say, well, so and so done this, so and so done that last year. Every year is different. So new players and and they everybody's got new players. There was a couple of players that we had that we didn't think would be ready to play on Friday night, and they went out and just played unbelievable. So everybody has them type of guys. It's just kind of start seeing who's who and kind of how the season is going to shape up, and whenever we get ready to play somebody, we're prepared and we've done all our homework and have all these plans ready to go just in case they do some different stuff. So kind of we don't really look ahead, but you can always have in the back of your mind whenever something happens during a game that we've seen this on tape, or we've practiced this, or I remember when this happened that we had to do this. So all that kind of stuff will hopefully help us out when we play whoever that is, and and be ready to hopefully be prepared and hopefully have a better outcome in that situation by watching these teams kind of on this bye week, just kind of see who they are.
How's it going to feel to have a Friday night off this early already?
Like there's pros and cons. We would like to be playing this Friday, and but it's how the schedule's made. And we just have to. We're gonna embrace it and get a couple guys healthy, and we'll hopefully go watch some football. And come this weekend, we'll flip the switch and we'll go all in on Holly Pond and be ready to go. But still, as a coaching staff, we'll have a really have a day off here, so to mentally get right, because it's a long season starting really Saturday once we start going all in on Holly Pond. So it's a long season because we're about to go. Hopefully, we're going to be playing for a long time, but we're going to go really just 9 weeks straight right here, regular season. So we'll get in that routine and we'll get all that kind of going, and hopefully we're able to win a lot of football games and continue to develop, continue to get better, and hopefully have a chance every Friday night to win. And so that's kind of where we're at, and we're just excited to come tomorrow and excited to get better and be ready really for next Friday against Holly Pond.
Donnie Brooks speaks for a lot of the Ram Nation, all of the Ram Nation, by saying that we believe in them, we believe in you, believe in the team, Coach. So it's a long season, and like you said, it starts come Saturday. Season really starts then. So, Randy, you got anything you want to add before we close this out?
Oh, I don't want to jerk Coach up again. I'm just going to leave him alone.
We're gonna have to start preparing the questions beforehand. Let me get all that out of the way. So, but yeah, we're like I said, thank y'all for having me on tonight, and hopefully here in the next 2 weeks we're here celebrating a win.
Coach, it's more like thanks for putting up with us, not for you being on here. This is your show. Thanks for putting up with us, and you could have easily said, no, we're not going to do one this week, but you're on here, you're talking to us, telling us what needs to be said, and we appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
And I'll close this out, Randy. For Randy Cunningham, for Coach Tanner Nelson, I'm Howard Chaney. This is the Sylvania Rams football with Coach Tanner Nelson. No game this Friday night, but be ready to come out a week from Friday night when they host Holly Pond for the first regional game of the year. But we will be back next week, Tuesday. Not sure exactly what time yet, but we'll be here Tuesday to preview the upcoming game, and maybe Coach Nelson will be able to get us some a guest or two to join us this coming Tuesday. So good night and God bless everybody.
Go Rams.